Hello guys, welcome back to KaroStartup, where we bring inspiring stories from the world of entrepreneurs. Today we have Yash with us. Let's have a discussion with him. Hi Yash, welcome on the
Hi
channel.
Rohan, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you KaroStartup for having me over here.
For our audience, let's have an introduction about you, who you are and what you do, so that we can have meaningful discussion about your angel investment, about your background, about your studies, about your mindset, about your new venture. So yes.
So basically, I've done my schooling from Hyderabad. I did my college from Bangalore, CMS, Jain College, and then I did my integrated MBA from IIPM,
Okay.
whereby some years happened in Hyderabad and then in Belgium as well. Currently, I'm also pursuing a course in IIM Ahmedabad. So I got into family business pretty early
Okay.
and have been pursuing
So
that.
you did engineering from?
Not engineering.
You studied from Bangalore, right?
Yes.
So what degree?
That was BBA.
So BBA. And in
Business
which year?
Administration.
Achha, in which year?
2005.
So 2005 you graduated from Bangalore.
That was 2005 to 8. That
5
was,
to 8.
yes.
Okay. I'll just make a note.
Yes.
Cool. Yes. So then.
And then we got into family business.
Okay.
So since I was new into business, and that year basically Kingfisher was very trending.
Okay.
So we set up a Kingfisher Academy in Hyderabad and Bangalore. So it was a franchisee from Kingfisher Airlines, whereby there was training cabin crew and hospitality staff. Something like what Franklin Institute of Aerospace does.
Yes.
So we set up that, and that was my first venture.
Oh.
And I got into that I was very naive. I didn't know, and there were a lot of learnings from that.
Okay.
In terms of marketing, advertising.
Oh,
but
wow.
then after a couple of years, then the depression came in. The financial depression all over the world came in.
Yes.
And then Kingfisher also went through a difficult phase.
Yes.
And then ultimately we had to shut it down. We've always been to family business of steel, right from starting, whereby we manufacture in Hyderabad. And I got into that, and when basically I got into the business, we went through a family transition whereby we were splitting, and my father had too many brothers. So we had a transition split, whereby a lot of things happened. We'll talk more about it during the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction. Let's discuss more on your journey, about your childhood days. As your name says, Yash Agarwal, right? So as you say, you have a family business. So is it quite normal that every Agarwal has a family business, or how it is?
I would not say it's quite normal, but then yes, most of the Agarwals do have family business somewhere or the other.
Okay, so what is that special? We see a lot of Agarwals doing a lot of businesses, right? So what is that? Is in the way you have been grown, or it's in the genes, or how it is? How?
See, if I may say that, every Agarwal will definitely have a business of real estate.
Okay.
I'm sure whatever they are, either they are in jewelry, or they are in steel, or they are in manufacturing of any product. They have certain income from that, and they definitely put that money in real estate.
Okay.
So if you see that, you will see majority of Agarwals will have a vertical as real estate.
Okay.
They might not be building something, but they'll definitely own a lot. Like a zamindar, they'll have a lot of lands everywhere.
Yes.
That is for sure there.
Okay, let's discuss more on the on your surname or the community, right? So my grandfather once said, like, अगर धंधा बनाना है तो मारवाड़ी से सीख लो, right? So what is that thing one should learn from Marwadis or Agarwals?
I would like to differentiate that. A lot of people say that धंधा बनाना है तो learn from Gujaratis.
Okay.
They also are very good in their trade, what they do. But it's just that, Marwadis are very shrewd in business.
Okay.
They might be very soft otherwise, generally as a family person or in their personal lives. But in business, they are very shrewd, and what matters is what they are bringing home and how they are making money.
Okay.
And making money is very important to them. I feel more than the family life, I think that business life takes the upper hand or the upper edge over there.
Okay. An hour ago, I was listening to a guy. So he mentioned, like, collect the entire world's money and equally divide and give it to everyone. But soon it will come to the same place, same persons, right? So what is that thing? What is that decision-making thing? Differentiate you guys than the other communities or something?
Very dynamic in nature.
Okay.
Very aggressive in their approach, and very fast movers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, as in, they won't take time to take decisions. They will if they keep making money, their ability to take risk increases.
Oh, okay. So it means speed over perfection?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Good to hear. Yes, coming back to your story. So as you said, you're born from Nagpur, then studied in Bangalore, then set up business at Hyderabad. Now you're settled at Hyderabad, right?
Yes.
So let's go to your childhood days, how it was. We want to understand about your childhood mentality or the mindset, what you had possessed. And yes.
See, honestly saying, I have been very lucky enough. I was literally born with a platinum spoon.
Okay.
I'll not even say a silver spoon. I will say a platinum spoon. I'll be very honest. And then I had the best of the schooling when I was this thing, and I was a state level lawn tennis player.
Oh.
I had an all India ranking as well. So I had a, if I may say, a dietitian at that point of time, when I was young in my early days. Some people don't have it now as well. I had it at that time. So I was very lucky, And I always, what do you call, was brought up with that philosophy, that my father was literally the king, when he, in steel, especially during his early days, like he used to open the market and he was the final say.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've always seen that,
Okay.
And wherever he used to go to parties, and he was very respected. He still is, but yes, that sheen is not there as much as it was back then.
Okay.
So I always, had that feeling, that if there was a king, there'll definitely be a prince.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have been brought up with that philosophy. There is a king and there is a prince.
Oh, okay. Okay. So as you mentioned, you have seen your dad while growing up. So what were the learnings in the initial days you had, still using it to take decisions? So anything you want to share it with our viewers?
I feel the most important thing till now, which I keep following, is don't trust anybody.
Wow.
My father is of that concept that, he only believes in more than verbal, in written things. I still follow that, Anywhere, if I'm speaking to somebody about an idea, or if I'm speaking to somebody, I make sure, that, I have a written contract with him, and then I actually, disclose what I want to say.
Oh. Okay.
And this is completely, embedded in my system altogether. And my father always believed, that never, believe anybody and sign any documents. So I always have a belief that I read whatever I'm signing, be it even the, a lot of people, that when you're opening a bank account or you're opening, you have just consent, just put consent. So I have the belief that, actually read everything so that, nothing goes wrong in that. So I still read my documents, be it even though they are lengthy documents or even though are irrelevant. Okay. I still read and then only sign.
Oh, wow. Oh, got it. So yes, one thing, as you said, I don't trust anybody, anything apart from that. So what you still follow or believe? What is that learning you want to share with our viewers, which you feel that this is what I've learned from my dad and everyone should learn?
Hard work. My father always believes, that, there's no...
As you mentioned, no, he was a king personality.
Yeah.
Still he hard works.
Yeah. Because I feel still there is no, what do you call, shortcut to success, in terms of hard work. You have to put in your hard work.
So it means you went through that 0 to 10, one journey,
right? Not really. I would say that I've been to 100 to 0 and then back to getting to 100 again. Wow. So I've seen that part of my life.
Okay.
And I'm grateful. I don't think, in a short age of mine, or anybody for a matter of fact, that, you get to see so many hurdles and difficulties, positives, and joyous triumphs, celebrations.
So how was your relation with your dad, as he was very occupied with work, business, everything? So was he giving time and all? How it was?
See, one thing, I'll be very honest. Okay. A father and son relation is very difficult to explain.
Okay.
A mother and son relation is very loving,
Okay.
And a father and daughter relation is very this thing. If I may take the example of even our olden days, Sun is the father of Saturn.
Okay.
And Sun likes the color red.
Okay.
And Saturn likes the color black. So honestly saying, if you say that, if somebody says that, he and his father has the best relationship, I think he's bluntly lying about it.
Oh, okay.
Because there are differences and father cannot express, son doesn't understand. So that catch-22 situation is always there between a father and a son.
Okay.
If I speak about gods, Lord Shani, as in Saturn and Sun never get along very well. Yes. And that's why they have different colors. So when you see from that point of view, it's difficult, yes, but then over the years that love has increased.
Okay. Wow.
Respect is still there. what I feel is that love might be there or not there, respect is very important.
Okay, got it. Then after your schooling, you moved to Bangalore. How was your early days pursuing BBA here? BBA or BCC?
BBA.
BBA here in Bangalore.
Yeah.
So you moved away from your family and stayed here.
Yeah.
So how was that thing?
It was actually very difficult. I'll be very honest. You know that I never stayed away from my family, and then I was a spoiled brat. So if I would say, there are about 14 kids in our generation. So my dad has 4 elder brothers, and there are 14 kids among us, and I'm the 14th kid. So I've always been very pampered, and I feel that's not a blessing. That's the difficult part of being, being the youngest. You get pampered, so you don't see the difficulties and the hardships of life. You only see the positives in life. So yeah, it was difficult to move around in Bangalore. So as I was spoiled, so instead of a PG, my father got me a flat over here also.
Okay.
So and so just to make me comfortable, that he used to he set up the entire house over here, and then he set up staff over here. Very kind, honestly. But then I was still missing my family so much. I had to, stop my course midway and then move to Hyderabad. I feel that was one of the biggest wrong decisions I've taken in my life, that moving back to Hyderabad. I should have continued and, stayed out of my comfort zone.
Got it. So yes, after BBA, you moved to Hyderabad.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And then what next?
So like I said, we got into that Kingfisher Training Academy.
Yes.
So I was handling the entire affairs, and it was a franchise.
So it was the first venture you handled by you.
Yes, by
so
myself.
How was the experience?
Tough, yeah, because I didn't know the corporate language. I didn't know the ABCD of advertising and marketing.
Okay.
And Kingfisher was at its highest peak that time. And talking 2009-10, and Kingfisher was doing very well. And the way you talk to people, basic etiquettes and all. Okay. A lot of things. There was a good journey. Though we made some great losses over there, honestly, because we had to shut down because the airline industry went through a difficult time, and Kingfisher itself, the group itself, was going through a difficult time.
Yes.
But then there's a lot of good learnings about it, how to the work culture, the corporate culture, and how things are handled, and finances.
Yes.
A lot of things, which you don't learn in your books.
Okay.
I think practically teaches you all those things.
Okay. So as you said, Kingfisher, you have set up an academy over there. Did you get any chance to meet Vijay Malla and all?
No. I get that. A lot of people do ask me questions, and then people used to be very envy of me that you have an academy, you get to meet a lot of girls over there. But things are not like that, because we are taking in people who are very fresh, as in they are very naive. So our job was to train them, mature them, groom them, and uplift their thinking, thought process, their body language, their behavior, their speech, everything. So it's only later when they are groomed, then they are fit to be a roasters. And then Kingfisher had its own challenges in terms of weight, height, and then complexion, which the other institutes don't have. I'm told. I might be wrong on that, but I'm told. So yeah, it was a good experience overall.
Then how many years you ran that?
About if I may say about two and a half years.
So this was year
2008 onwards. While I was studying only, this started. While I was studying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 2008 till 2008.
From 2008.
From 2008 then 10.
Till 2010 mid. Yes.
So what next?
So while I was doing this, I was handling the steel business also. So like I said, we were going through a family transition.
Yes.
So our family was getting split. So obviously, and my father was very attached to his brothers. So that was very difficult time for all of us. And he's a very emotional person by heart. So he's always helped his brothers around, and he was, if I may say, he was one of the main bread earners for the entire family. And we had a big family of 30-40 people. I'm sure I can't discount that fact that there were people who were supporting him and doing the best of the thing. But he was one of the main bread earners over there. And when we got split, it took a big toll on his emotional health. So obviously, my mother definitely gave me an option that you go somewhere else, shift somewhere else, do some job, corporate job or something, and you've got good qualification and have a good command over language. So I might scale up in the corporate hierarchy. But then honestly, as a son, I thought it was my duty. Nobody forced me to that. I need to stay with my father and be there in the tough time, and be around how it is. Because when our family split, our plant stopped working because we had to do the entire separation process. So banks got involved. It got a little dirty and a little messy. So whereby banks started recalling the money and all. So I stood with my father, and I learned the difficult way, I would say.
Okay, got it. So till what year this all went to set up a new thing?
I would say that this bank process is still going on while we are talking as well. Indian litigation is that is never ending, you know.
So RINL, right?
Yes.
So when this started and then.
So this started in 2012. Back then it was a different company.
Okay.
So we used to do trading over there in that company, not manufacturing. Manufacturing closed down because the land where we were doing it was an expensive piece of land.
Okay.
And it didn't make sense to run the plant that time. And that's the time when the state partition was going on. Telangana agitation was going on. There's a lot of difficulties and challenges to run a plant over there in terms of power, in terms of labor. So that unit got shut down. And RINL shut in 2012. So it was a different name that time. So it is about 2-3 years back we changed the name of the company. So what we are doing over here is we are doing an asset light model, whereby we give distributorship or a franchisee to other people, and they give us a royalty every month. We handle the marketing, we help them in the sales process, like financing dealers and all.
So this is franchise owned, company managed,
not
company operated, or
no, it's basically we give the franchises to them for a particular period of time, like 2 years, 3 years, 1 year as per the contract, and they make the products under the brand name, and they sell in the market. We help them in the sales and marketing, and they give us a fixed royalty. So this brand is a registered brand until 2034. And this is registered in SAARC countries as well, like Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, all these countries as well. Yes.
Okay, got it. So yes, serving CEO at RINL for 12 plus years.
Yes.
And then into traditional business and all.
Yeah.
So what was that point you gave a thought that I should start investing as an angel into startups, right? So what was that spark or thought?
See, in 2015, I was going through a very difficult phase in my life. I didn't know what has to be done. I'm sure everybody goes through that phase, where they question themselves as to what next.
Okay.
See, you are carrying forward your family's lineage is a one thing, but then I always felt, what difference are you making? What disruption are you doing? Anything else you're doing in life? So I got a lot of cold emails that time from different angel platforms. There's one platform called Let's Venture where I got in touch with in Bangalore. So I came down to meet them once in Bangalore in 2015. So I like the concept of it because that time it was very new, and that time there was one more hype going on of crypto, 2014-15.
Yes.
So some people told me about that as well. I didn't believe it, what this is. It didn't make sense to me, honestly.
Okay.
Because I thought such things actually exist, like where you have to, there's tokens, there's mining happening of cryptos. So I didn't understand. It was difficult. I still don't understand, though I do trade in crypto legally, but I still don't understand the basic logic of it. There's so many tokens. There's a different world altogether of cryptos. So I got into touch with Let's Venture, and I met them in Bangalore in 2015, if I may recollect, and I understood the concept, how they work, how does this ecosystem work, and the benefits of it. And I understood, it's a basically high risk, high reward business. So that's where it's all started. And then I made my first investment in 2017. Yes, and that was Trell. Yes, that was my first investment.
So what made you decide that you will invest in Trell?
See, I'll be very honest, in startup ecosystem, it's very difficult, to understand or gauge any startup. Because it's very hypothetical, and if I may take the liberty and call myself an angel investor, if I may do that, so I feel you come in a very early stage where the idea is being created, or just the idea is there's no traction, there's hardly any PMF over there's no GTM, there's no marketing, there's no revenue coming in, and there's no clientele as such. But the idea is that, if I say that, a lot of bankers give loans to industrialists. They have a team and they are exceptional in their, what do they do? But still a lot of loans go bad. So it's very difficult to gauge, somebody on assumptions as to what he will do in life. And my idea has always been the founder, that if the founder's pedigree is nice, the company will be nice and your money will be safe. And that's very important.
So what was the ticket size you invested in Trell?
I won't be able to say that. But then, so this guy called Prashant, who was the founder then. So the team of Prashant, Pulkit, Bimal and Arun joined later. So all these four were there. So Prashant now moved out. So he's got a new app called Shri Mandir, Apps for Bharat. He raised a Series C round recently. So they are doing Puja, Chadava and all with a lot of mandirs, and he's doing very well. So I somehow, had a lot of belief in his conviction. So LV had an event in IIT Hyderabad, so whereby he pitched, and I really liked this guy, the way he was talking, and he was very confident of what he was building. Though they pivoted from what they were doing initially, a little bit, they got into e-commerce and all that, which gave them high revenues.
Yes.
But I liked what he was building, and I had belief in his idea
and thought process.
Yes.
Okay, still you were an active investor at Trell? Or
No, Trell to I exited in 2021. Yes.
So what was that?
I made a stellar exit in Trell.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yeah. It was in great multiples. As good as a fortune. Yeah, it was a great multiple. And then, like you say, they bolte na Shri Ganesh hua.
Oh, okay.
The first investment being Trell and the first exit being Trell. So that was a good feeling, honestly.
So I have heard from a lot of angels saying that first investment to chhodi do. Then after 10 you learn how to invest, and then you take that calculated risk and then you invest. But yours was something.
I was lucky, honestly. I was lucky. Okay. God was kind to me.
And then I have written something here. You have backed 40 plus startups, including Dukaan, GoNuts and others that are performing really well today. Okay.
Yeah.
So from your experience, what is the one quality you have consistently observed in successful founders? Something that you believe upcoming founders must absolutely have if they are building or looking to raise funds?
Humility.
Okay.
Patience. Empathy.
Okay.
And the zeal to solve a problem. First, identify a problem. And then to solve a problem. I feel if that is not there, then if you're chasing valuations, if you're chasing money eventually burns out, and valuations drop.
Yes.
I'm sure you heard that in the funding wind, a lot of people had down rounds.
Yes.
So valuations do drop down. So what is important is that that zeal and that patience to stick around is very important.
Okay. So when you see as an angel investor, how many years of time you take a bet, or you just invest and leave, or you be part of the startup and help them in other things?
I try to mentor startups. I do mentoring for a lot of startups, like connecting with the ecosystem, like making them talk to other investors, other founders as well, whereby where they can create some different streams of revenue as well.
Okay.
As well as to other founders if they want to raise funds. I always tell all the founders where I've invested in that, that always good to meet people, like there are a lot of, funds in Bangalore itself, a lot of, there's elevation over here, you have everybody over here basically, not naming anybody. Yes. So I've always believed that, if you have to meet anybody, you have to meet that person. He might not invest now, he might invest later. So I feel in this ecosystem, network is the actual net worth. True. There's no doubt about it.
Yes, very true.
Yeah.
So I just want you to, if any case studies or something which you invested and then earlier the idea was different and then now they are doing crazy or something. So any case study of your investment which you didn't think this will go in this direction, something it went?
Yeah, so I invested in this app called Chingari.
Okay.
So which started in around COVID time and all. So that time TikTok was banned. So a lot of startups, basically got sprouted that time. Like if I may say, ShareChat, a lot of startups, startups that time. And in COVID, a lot of people were free, and startup market was at its best. Okay. It was performing very good, and there were a lot of exits as well that time. So Chingari got into cryptos, tokens, and they're doing very well. I think Salman Khan or somebody launched their crypto token or somebody, and they're doing very well currently, and they're at high valuation. Okay. There's another startup called Truly Madly, which I backed during COVID. So I know the founder personally, Snehil Kanor as well. Okay. A brilliant guy, I still remember I was speaking to him during COVID one day, and during the first lockdown, he just wasn't ready to hang up the phone. Yeah, it was night 10:30 or 11 o'clock. He just wasn't ready to hang up the phone. He wanted to explain me more about what he's building, in fact, due to paucity of time, I had to hang up the phone because I wanted to sleep and I was tired. But then, I actually felt, that, he was getting a little angry that why am I wanting to put in the phone? He wanted to talk more and, understand, as to what he was building. And I see today, that, he has got brand ambassador like Disha Patni and Siddharth Malhotra, and he's doing very well. Wow. I think what I've invested is already grown multifold by now, and is still doing well, and I don't want to exit the platform. And they have a very organic growth currently in the dating world. So
when you mentioned about Chingari, is this was there any one pitch that truly stood out so unique or out of the box Is this the
Not
only
really.
one?
Chingari to was one because it was in the moment, sab chal raha tha us time. Chingari was like that. So there is a startup called Broomies. I invested in them during COVID again.
Okay.
When the COVID wave was going on. So three I think founders are there out of Delhi, and couple of them got married together also. So one founder got married to the other one. So what I really liked was that the idea of basically, I'm sure every household has its own difficulties of having maids, drivers, cooks, babysitters. I have not come across babysitters because I haven't crossed that stage of my life.
Okay.
So yes, but they really basically had that conviction of doing something for the society, and they called me for a pep talk as well to where they actually train the staff and all. So my sister recently had a baby girl. So I had a niece recently. So I put her in touch with Broomies. So very very professional. Whereby other than that they are sending the biodata of the staff, the babysitter. They are giving the Aadhaar card. They are masking the number of the Aadhaar. So very professional, and they came on Shark Tank also. I think all the sharks backed them, and they are very very convincing in their approach. So what I feel is like they are solving a real time problem. So they have started a new service, I think in Gurgaon or Bangalore or Delhi, whereby you have a maid available in 15 minutes time.
Yes,
Imagine if your friends just coming, and you don't have staff available. Like cities like Bombay, so you can't afford to have a staff because there's such limited space to stay for yourself. Where will the staff stay? So if you have something like that, and they take full responsibility of that. Any theft is happening or any such thing, they take full responsibility of that. So in 15 minutes, you have somebody coming in and doing all the household chores. I think that's a brilliant concept. I'm sure there are a lot of other people who are duplicating or copying them currently, but I feel it's a standout concept.
As you mentioned about the investment, so how just can you tell us how an early startup founder approach you?
Yeah, basically, he can send me a pitch on my on LinkedIn or on my email ID.
Okay.
And then my team actually evaluates.
So you have a separate team for this?
Yes, obviously, because since I'm active on LinkedIn, so I have a lot of unread messages and I have a lot of emails which is there. So it becomes difficult. And like I said, I have paucity of time. I have a lot of things on my platter.
Yes.
So it becomes difficult to, understand and talk to teams. So they actually, basically shortlist the people. And then if something interesting comes up, I'm sure sitting in Bangalore, in HSR, to at least 50 startups are, I think, born every day. And
HSR is they call it as the LinkedIn city of India.
Absolutely. Like, there's a third wave coffee or somewhere over nearby.
Yes.
I don't know which layout is it. So I feel there are 50 startups born every day.
Yes.
I can actually vouch for it. 50 startups born every day. I don't know how many succeed, how many die every day. So and I'm sure there are 500 ideas coming every day.
Yes.
I see in Bangalore coffee shops and all. Everybody discussing about startups. Tu series raise kar le, tu series B kar le, tu series kar le. I don't know what they are doing, but I'm sure. Yeah. So I think Bangalore is all about startups and how it is.
Yes. As we know, everything has two sides, right? There's a success side and a failure side. So you might have seen the journey, both the sides, right? So any case study or something which you see invested in a startup and it's shut or it's failed. So how do you cope up with that thing? And
so there's a startup called Nikki.ai.
Okay.
It had stellar investors, something like the late Mr. Tata was a part of the investor team, and Mr. Ronnie Screwvala also part of the team, and they were building something very unique. Like if I may say that they were creating vernacular languages. Like गाँव में होता है क्या है, whereby people don't know how to speak and they're not that tech savvy. People are not tech savvy even in urban cities also. I will not say rural is that, even in urban cities people are not that tech savvy. I am still learning a lot of things, I'm sure. So over there, they could have spoken in their own vernacular language and say कि हमें 5 रुपए का रिचार्ज करना है, 10 रुपए का रिचार्ज करना है, या 20 रुपए का रिचार्ज करना है, या इसको 5 रुपए भेजना है, 10 रुपए भेजना है. I think the concept was very very nice. I think it was solving a real time pain problem. But then somehow it didn't survive. And I feel that sometimes it becomes difficult for the founder, and if he has a good product and if he has a good team of investors already there and such a startup fails, I think it becomes very difficult for him to buckle up his shoes and then restart his journey again from scratch. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of hustling around again to start from that.
Okay.
If I may talk about failures, I've seen days whereby I've seen days where there was no place to keep money from place where there was no money at all. Absolutely. I've seen both stages of life completely, whereby we were surrounded by creditors all the time, and honestly, if I may say that I'm not a lawyer by profession, but when a company shut, when a big company shuts, when a flourishing company shuts, you have a lot of people whom you have to pay money, a lot of people whom you have to get money.
Yes.
So a lot of people filed cases against us. A lot of people against whom we filed cases, some of which are still going. But because of my practical experience, I have learned so much. I exactly know how the court functions. I might not be a lawyer myself. I've come to a case whereby I tell the lawyer what has to be done and what not needs to be done. I don't need any coaching for that. Because I remember a time when I first time in for a court hearing in 2013, where I was supposed to be present in court. When the judge asked my name, I was actually fumbling. I was stammering and telling my name. I was so, very scared. I was very naive that time and very immature that time. And to days where I've actually personally, done arguments in court myself when my lawyer was not present.
Oh.
So I've seen that journey as well.
Okay. So as you have seen the both sides of the journey, so what is that message you want to give to the listeners?
I think, setbacks are a part of life. You need to learn from your setbacks, and I feel if setbacks are not there, you're not prepared to something much bigger which you are destined to get or which is coming in your way. Okay. So you need to learn. I think wins only polishes. Setbacks are the one who teaches you things in life.
Some entrepreneurs say formal education isn't necessary. Right? What's your take? Do you think an MBA or a college degree is overrated for a young founder?
In terms of?
In terms of someone who start a startup or venture or something.
The other day, you won't imagine, my friend, I think his son is about 10 or 12 years old.
Okay.
He says he wants to become a shark. So ambition is good. There's no difficulty in that. But when I feel that, when you're starting young, the only advantage is that, you learn faster, you fail faster, adapt faster, and then you you have the whole process ready in a much faster way. When you start late, you obviously have difficulties in terms of time. So when you start early, even an MBA graduate can start a startup. There are so many startups where people are under 25. Yes. If I'm not wrong, I think Zerodha was started when they were in the early 20s. Yes. Yeah. So
yeah, see, one more thing, what it takes is patience.
Yes, absolutely.
So what you want to say on that point? So when you say learn faster, fail faster, take actions faster. So as an early stage founder, for us also it is very difficult at a point to take that decision whether we are heading in the right direction, because we don't know how that journey gonna go or the path gonna go it. So we take some time to understand what to do it. We consult our mentors or come back again, iterate. But deep down we'll feel that we'll be having the gut feeling we'll make through, but still we'll feel some low self-esteem or doubt, all that part. So what is that thing, what we should do in that stuck moment?
See, what I feel is that founders should never chase valuations.
Okay.
That is very important. Valuations will get you to nothing in life. What I feel is that, and my understanding is that equity still is the most expensive form of debt. If you see, a debt will cost you a 12-13% of bank interest, but equity, when you actually shell out equity, it works out to be 36-48%. So a lot of people think, that ki hame interest pay nahi karna hai, so we might give out equity. There are a lot of platforms now, whereby they give you a certain crore amount of thing, but they take away a lot of your equity. I feel if a business is self-sustainable, equity should not be diluted at all.
Okay.
I feel if the business can be run on its own and managed on its own, if you are able to, basically be cash positive, if not EBITDA positive, I feel that you should not, go out of the market and source for equity out of the market. I think it's very important to build the PMF first, the GTM, and you need to identify the LTV. And it's very important, going ahead, that the CAC, the CAC should always be very down.
Okay.
I feel a lot of people feel that कि हाँ पैसा raise कर लिया, if they raised money, CAC में burn कर लो. It doesn't make sense, ultimately you are bleeding someone else's money. A lot of people tell me that कि आप एक fund चालू कर लो, you know people in the ecosystem, what is there. See, I feel that losing your money is one thing, but when you start a fund, you're taking money from others. Okay. When you're taking money from others, the guilt factor kicks in. And when the guilt factor kicks in, you have a lot of responsibility. Like how Spider-Man says, with great power comes great responsibility. So when you have somebody else's money in your pocket and you're trying to invest in in startups, you have to be much more accurate and your DD has to be much more stronger. Your belief in that has to be much more stronger. So I still feel, as founders, I've learned that if you don't need money, don't raise money just for the heck of it. I've seen a lot of founders who raised money because there was funding winter, because they were getting money. What happens is that, when you raise money without the need of it, you actually end up, closing down, shutting down, honestly saying that. Because I saw a lot of startups whereby they actually raised money where they didn't require it. They spent on multinational cricket tournaments and all that, which was not required, and they end up, becoming bankrupt. It absolutely doesn't make sense. If you don't need money, don't take money. And there are a lot of businesses which don't need money. You don't need to burn and bleed money. There are a lot of businesses like if you are in the e-commerce space, you need to burn money in terms of marketing and all. But there are a lot of businesses which don't need money. And I would advise to the founders, my learning is that a lot of startup ideas can be born if we actually think about it from our daily lives as to what are the difficulties which we are facing, how we can solve those pain points. I'm sure we as individuals or our parents have difficulties in our daily lives, doing daily chores or managing work otherwise as well. A lot of startups have simplified that work. We never imagined how technology and how UPI will solve our business. When I'm traveling, I don't think I'm traveling even with a single rupee in my wallet. It's all online. So the world has become like that.
Okay, got it. So yes, when it comes to your angel investment thing, so how does your portfolio looks like? So what are the sector-based investments, or what is the majority of investment into which sector, or so how many startups you have invested?
So invested in about 40 plus startups. So there's some in the AgriTech space.
Okay.
There are some in the space tech space as well. There are some in the Fintech space as well, and there's some that come in the crypto space as well, e-commerce space as well. But there's one startup I would like to mention, which I actually missed the bus, is Agnikul Cosmos. Okay. I think it's a great startup, and IIT and Madras, founder, Srinath is. I think I missed the bus over there. I still regret it. I think what he's building is something very great, and he's building rockets and satellites, small for the space. I think Anand Mahindra also is an investor in that. So when I started investing, I used to feel that कि अब ये स्टार्टअप में इन्वेस्ट नहीं किया, अब तो जिंदगी खत्म हो गई. I used to have that FOMO all the time. But then over the years I've matured as this thing and understood that कि ठीक है अब ये नहीं, अगले में करेंगे, if not second, the third one. In fact, I'll be honest, I missed the opportunity of investing in SpaceX, which was at 1/10 of the valuation of what it is now. No. Oh. About 9 years back. 9 years back. So even that was missed. So it's okay. So I think it's all a part. You can't invest everywhere. You can't have your eggs in all the basket. Okay. Somewhere you will miss it out.
So yes, you have advised a lot of to our listeners, startup founders, early stage and all. So what is that advice you want to share, or the thing you want to share to angel investors who are watching this podcast?
Angel investors is that, basically, stick around the founders when the time is tough. Okay. I think that is where the concept of angel will come in, because when we are in tough times, we pray. Catholics pray for angels to come. Yes. Every religion, they pray for their own angels to come and save them over there. So I feel an angel is actually required when the startup is going down, and it's very important that as angels, we support them when they're actually going down, mentor them, advise them, help them financially. If not help them financially, at least put them to the right people who can help them financially. I think that's where the definition of angel investor comes in, and that's when, it will be truly defined that way.
Yes, cool. Thanks for the takeaway or the advice for the angels and the founders. So, let's go back to how a day looks like in Yash's life.
Yeah, so I've become a Shiv Bhakt since 2-3 years. So
Okay.
I've been fortunate enough to cover 10 Jyotirlings
Oh wow.
and multiple times. Yeah, I've covered about 10 Shakti Peeths as well. So two Jyotirlings are pending, the one in Banaras and one in Jharkhand.
Okay.
So I think I start my morning with I take my deity's name and all.
So since childhood you are a puja part boy, or
See, my mom takes the credit for that. Somehow I don't know why moms are like that. So she takes the credit. She when I was inside her womb,
Okay.
she used to read a lot of Bhagwan ki kitabe and all,
Okay.
like Bhagavad Gita and all that. I'm like, this you can't take credit, but theek hai, if she says that, it's okay, obviously, the genes transfer.
Yes.
So I've been religious right from starting, but I'll be very honest, that till about 2-3 years back, I used to feel Lord Shiva is a very powerless god.
Okay.
I'll be very, very honest, I'll tell listeners as well. It was, I think, my biggest blunder of life. I used to think he's a very powerless god. I was very, Ganesha ho gaya, Lord Hanuman. I've been a God believer and a God follower, and I'm scared of God also, honestly, right from my childhood. So I've done the Gita course as well. I've recited the Gita also. I've got Gita certificates as well. So yeah, but then somehow I came in touch with Lord Shiva. I think it was destined. So after my morning routine starts with that. I go to a temple every day. I do Lord Shiva's Abhishek every day, and then I start my breakfast. Then I have my breakfast after that, and then daily calls and all.
Okay.
So but I make sure, and this is one thing which I have learned, is that the moment is very important for founders, entrepreneurs, and investors. I think the moment I get up, and this is what was taught by my health coach. I have a health coach with me. That the moment I get up, I don't see my phone for at least for an hour. I know it's difficult. Normally, I was from the same pedigree that the moment I get up, see what all messages have come, see what's happening on social media, what's happening around the world. But I consciously now make sure that when I get up, I don't see my phone for at least 30 minutes to 60 minutes. And that is one thing which I follow. So the moment I get up, I start with Om chanting and some meditation, some box breathing, and I do affirmations. I believe in that. So I go to a temple after that, and then I do breakfast and then the daily chores and all that. So sometimes I go to the office, sometimes it's work from home. As an investor, it's more work from home, because when it's like wherever I have the laptop, the work is working over there. Wherever the network reaches you, you're working over there. You're able to connect to people, talk to people. That's how it is. But then yes, I do. But post my meals, I do after every meal, I do take a walk for 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
And I thank my nutritionist for getting me that knowledge on food and dietary habits.
Okay.
So after every meal, I walk for 15 minutes for sure. And I take my meal every 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
So that I'm not hungry, and then I limit my meals and I eat less in every meal. And I do about 3 days in a week about strength training I do.
Okay.
And 1 day in a week I do Pilates. And 1 day in a week I do yoga. Timings might differ, as per how the day is.
Yes.
And 1 day in a week I play golf, and 1 day in a week I play lawn tennis.
Okay.
So
Still you play lawn tennis.
Yes, I still play lawn tennis, because GVK Hotels, GVK Group chairman,
Yes.
Mr. GVK Reddy, is about 87, 88 or something. He still plays tennis in his home. So one thing, I think I was playing with him once at his hotel at Taj Deccan in Hyderabad. So he told me that if I stop playing even for a day, I can never play. I'm living only because I'm playing and I'm active. Yeah, and the moment you stop, then it takes a lot of effort to again restart the entire process.
Is it? Do you delegate your things, or delegation is important?
I delegate my things, and I do believe delegation is important.
Why?
The reason is that because if you start, a lot of people don't delegate. The reason is that because they feel that if they delegate to a staff, वो हमें छोड़ के भाग जाएगा, or if they say something to him, हमारी information चोरी हो जाएंगी. See, ultimately आपको वो bridge क्या बोलते हैं ना, पार करना ही पड़ेगा, sooner or later. You have to start delegating, because there are a lot of businesses who have not succeeded because they have not done a lot of delegation of work, and it happens from the top level. If you don't delegate, see what happens is, if you start delegating small works, if you see in your daily lives, you for the matter of fact, or me also, that if you start delegating works in life, we'll see that daily we'll see at least half an hour to 1 hour being saved. And that 1 hour is pure saving. It's an asset absolutely for an individual. In that 1 hour, you can actually plan and visualize your entire life because you're in a free space of life, free space of mind. You can actually, basically look at other things, what you can work on, what you're doing wrong in life, how you want to progress in life, how you visualize yourself to be in 10 years down the line, which normally gets lost because we are doing all this stupid chores work. I'm not saying ki all these works, if you're delegating, those people are not efficient enough, but I'm sure even they can delegate. Everybody can delegate work. If you see the reason why Dabbawalas have actually become a Six Sigma model and a lot of companies from abroad have studied them is because they have a lot of delegation of work. हर एक आदमी को पता है उसे क्या करना है. No work is small or less. I realized in my life from my father कि no work is small or less. आज एक कूली भी काम कर रहा है, आज एक बिजनेसमैन भी काम कर रहा है. Everybody is working, but delegation is very important. आज अगर एक कूली है ना अपने गिरायक को ढूंढने के लिए किसी और को डेलीगेट करता है तो वो उतना टाइम सेव कर रहा है. So that delegation, I'm giving a very low level example from that level कि delegation can happen at every level. So I have my own founder's office. She's not an assistant. I believe, in taking the team along. So when I am growing as a brand or as a startup or as an investor, my entire team should grow. She's not my assistant, but she's my founder's office. That's the term which I've given to her. So I feel that, I give a lot of work to her and I am saving a lot of time. And in that time, I am able to do other works whereby the business is actually growing. And a lot, I think India mein abhi thoda taboo hai where they don't give importance to mental health. But in US and other countries, there are Harvard studies whereby they have completely convinced of the fact that personal growth is more important than financial growth. If personal growth is there, financial growth definitely follows.
Okay.
Because you need to, ultimately our journey, our soul journey in this universe is basically to understand how we are as individuals and how we react to situations. There are some people who are not that blessed, who in their entire lifetime don't realize how they are, how they behave, how they believe. But that's our karmic journey, why we are in this world. Because we need to understand how we are as an individual. And I feel as an educated peril, it's important that we make a difference in everybody's life. And that is primary and that is indispensable. Because if we don't make that difference, I don't think our education will make any sense.
Got it. Yes, well, one quick question here too. So while you were telling about your day how looks like, and you mentioned about your physical health, exercise, yoga, right, workouts, and the physical health we spoke, if you have a nutritionist, everything. So let's come to mental health. So why mental health is important for a founder or an investor or a businessman? So how do they take care of that?
See, what I feel is that, everybody needs to find out their own stress coping mechanisms.
Okay.
And everybody is different.
So you agree that everyone has stress?
Of course, everybody has stress. I'm sure
the levels are different.
Levels are different. Some people manage it better.
Okay.
Ultimately, stress is basically an imbalance of our management of life.
Okay.
If we are not able to manage our life in a better way, that's when stress comes.
Okay.
You got up late, getting late for a meeting, then stress comes.
Yes.
So you haven't slept on time, you haven't planned your night well, you haven't got up well. So it's basically an imbalance of your entire life. That's where stress comes.
Okay. So I have heard that being in stress or coming up over it will harden you, will teach you a lot of lessons, will make you take decisions should not repeat those things. So in that angle I'm
ये सब वही लोग बोलते हैं जो लोग है ना बहुत accomplished है life के अंदर में. A lot of people say that money is not important in life who are themselves very accomplished in life. So actually, people miss the important part of it. Ultimately, they miss the details of it.
Okay.
They only read the conclusion. Ki, now we are successful in life. How you've got successful, that journey, and that is what is important. As your viewers also would want to know that ki journey किससे क्या रही है. Ultimately किसने क्या achieve किया है, success क्या है, that everybody knows. Headlines, so everybody knows what is there, what is not there. But I play golf, for example. I've realized 2-3 things from golf as well. I can give examples of that, whereby, the next shot is the most important shot.
Oh.
So your next meeting is the most important meeting.
Okay.
Like in golf, you play shots.
Yes.
So the next shot is the most important shot. And while you're hitting the shot, you need to focus on the ball. So focus is likely very important. So you see, a lot of sports actually teaches you the way of life. Like they say, the Bhagavad Gita teaches is the management of life. A lot of people don't believe in that, but it actually is. There is crisis management. There is how to overcome your emotions. A lot of founders, they get very suppressed or depressed. If they don't get the right funding, if they don't get the right investors backing, they don't get the right GTM, they don't have the right DAOs and MAOs every month. But then ultimately, you need to have that patience. If you have that stress mechanism, that stress is basically, if I define it, my learning says that, that particular moment when you are stressed, if you know how to control that, you've actually, you control that. Okay. It's basically all your breath, nothing else. When we work out also, what is the basic reason of working out? That our muscles, there needs to be breath everywhere around your body. We are made up of air more, air actually made up of more of water, but then breath is ultimately which is controlled. If you have control over that, I think you won the entire game.
One more thing, as I was just going through LinkedIn, you have mentioned you're building an AstroTech startup.
Yes.
Do you like to?
Yes, I will speak about that. Yes. So this is basically a pain point which I have gone through in my life. I'm not saying that others are not doing that. I'm sure they're doing it much better. But what we are building is we've also filed patents for that. Is that we want to make everybody's life very simple.
Okay.
Like they don't need to ask Google or a Chat GPT for an answer. I think you will have the answers, and that's where we are trying to integrate even mental health in that. Whereby if we are going, see, everybody goes through a phase where they are whatever you touch becomes gold, and you go through a phase whatever you touch becomes sand. So you exactly know what is your good phase, what is your bad phase. So when I define good phase and bad phase is like that. Good phase is like wherever you hit the bat, there the ball is falling. And the bad phase is that no matter where the ball is coming, wherever you swing, nothing will happen. Okay. So I think and I told my parents also, what I am building is that will make your life much more simpler. You don't need to ask me. My parents have their own challenges in terms of handling technology. My father and I always have this discussion that he always says that I haven't done anything in life that you're teaching me in life. When things have become much more simpler in terms of technology, so technology is not adapted by everybody. If you see, the mobile phone technology only has not reached the entire country of India as such. So technology and understanding things and all, it becomes difficult. So tomorrow my parents, if they want to ask me something astrologically or spiritually, the app which I am building, I don't want to reveal much details about it. We can have a separate discussion on that. Is that, everything will be available on the app, like good, bad, when they have to do what, everything will be available on that. And the reason why I'm building is that because this is a personal pain point which I have gone through in my life, and I wanted to see the other side of the journey as well. I have seen the investor side of the journey, and the journey of the founder is very different, because I don't want to be as an investor founder when I'm building this app. So I have to go to the journey of an actual founder, the difficulties a founder faces. So ultimately, it's the entire spectrum. You start from where you end, or you end from where you start.
Yes, as we have seen your day, how it looks like, about your journey, about everything. So apart from this, so what you love to do?
I do journaling as well.
Okay.
I think it's a stress mechanism. I feel it's an outlet whereby I can write my thoughts. And those that my feelings can be written down. Yes. If I can't express it. Okay. We live in a closed world whereby we are not, though we live in a democracy, we can't express our feelings to everybody. And not everybody takes it the same way how you want to express it. Perception is different every person, and sometimes the perception gets lost when it keeps getting transmitted from one person to other person. So I feel I do journaling for that. I do a lot of meditation again. So I like to cleanse my aura. So honestly saying, I think I came across a post or something and which I related to, because what is this nazar? Buri nazar, people call the evil eye. I feel when we actually want validation in life, that ki koi hame pasand kare, koi hame dekhe, kuch kare, that's where our aura gets into imbalance, our chakras get into imbalance. When we are actually self-sufficient, कि हम जो कर रहे हैं we are doing good, then nothing of that sort actually touches you. So this is what something I realize in meditation, कि meditation में you are actually trying to get to your connect with your inner self. I do social dancing as well, like salsa, bachata, kizomba and all. So I feel dance is like a form of therapy, So somehow you somehow unwind, you go to a different zone, you connect to the beats, you understand, and then when you're dancing with a partner, that connection matters. See, it need not be taken in a different way, but that connection, it could be a nice connection as well, whereby you're dancing, you're enjoying the mood of it. So I feel that's also a stress buster. I also read a lot of books as well. Like I read books obviously on a lot of startups and their journeys and all. So I feel when you keep reading books, one, obviously your diction improves, your articulation improves, and your thought process improves.
Okay.
How you're thinking, how you're perceiving things, it's very important. So when I went to IIM Ahmedabad also, we are basically solving real life case studies over there. So the concept over there is that you understand and you select which option you're selecting in real life case studies. As to if this option, what would have been the consequences, if you choose A, you choose B, you choose C. I feel that real life is very important, but that real life only happens if you keep learning things. If you're shut to learning, I think then your growth stops completely.
Okay, got it. So I have one question here. So what is that advice for your younger self, 22-year-olds, you want to give to your 22-year-old yourself? You want to give an advice to your old self. So what is that advice you want to give?
If I were given to myself?
Yourself.
Oh, that's a difficult and a vulnerable question which you asked. Yeah. But I would say that, believe in yourself and, start, stop expecting from people.
Okay.
I think expectation is the root cause of all evil, I would say. If you stop expecting and start taking actions, I think a lot of problems get solved in life.
Got it. So yes, I'm just 24-year-old. I'll take that advice for me too. Thank you. And yeah, one thing, as you have been through this journey, so if someone want to remember you and someone want to remember Yash Agarwal, so how will be they gonna remember?
If you say remember back then how I was, or back how I am today?
Yes.
See, I'm very happy, the way I am today, honestly, and I'm happy for all these struggles in life. I have a lot of gratitude for people, who came in my life, who left my life, who taught me a lot of things in life. And honestly saying, I'm still learning. That process has not stopped, I'm still like everybody of you like you also, that, it's still work in progress. A lot has to be accomplished in life. But, honestly, I would say that, one thing I would say is that, never give up and give it your best.
Wow. So during our conversation, I see you very humble, grounded, calm, composed. So is this you have built yourself, or since childhood you were?
No. I was a different self altogether. If you had seen even 5-6 years back, over the years I have built myself. I've become more, calm and composed.
Yes.
I'm more patient in life. I actually, I've started believing in, the divine basically. I've stopped thinking so much in life. I feel that, if I think so much, what will he do?
Okay.
Something he has to do, right? So you have to, I feel that when you write a letter to God. Any religion, write a letter to God, and you sent him to him. You know his post box. He also knows your post box. But you have to wait for the reply when he sends. And that is what is belief.
Oh, wow.
Because, sometimes, and in that you can't change your post box number. Because if you change your post box number, then that thing cannot come to you. So that belief is very important, for a founder also. That belief in himself. If he doesn't believe in himself, what is he going to an investor? And for an investor also, if he doesn't believe the founder, is he believing the numbers more than the founder? Because it's the founder who's going to deliver the numbers to him. Yes. It's the founder who's going to give the exit to him. So I feel that belief is very important in any individual. If you don't have that belief, Mr. Modi had the belief that, from a chai wala, he will turn the prime minister. And look where he is today. I'm sure he has his own critics, but he's achieved so much for himself and he's done so much for the country. We should all be proud of that fact. So that it's only the belief which has got him over here.
Yes.
He was not from a family whereby, you know, he was given that he had dynasty politics or something like that, but he had this belief in himself. I think that belief is very important for an entrepreneur. And somehow, you know, I feel that you need to be very mentally, you know, very strong here to keep that belief going.
Oh, wow. Cool. Then, yes, we discussed a lot of things from your education, your family businesses, by your background, your childhood days, your mindset, your first investment as an angel, so then investing in 40 plus startups, and then starting your own startup into AstroTech. A roller coaster journey, I would call this, what we discussed. And thank you so much for your time, sir, and we learned a lot here in discussing. And I believe because of time constraint, we have to end this, or next time whenever in Bangalore, let's have one more session in deep, in raw. The conversation was very raw, very candid for what we discussed. And thank you so much for your valuable time. Thank you, guys. Stay tuned.
Thank you so much, Rohan, and thank you KaroStartup. And I feel if any person can actually, you know, what do you call, learn something from my life, I'll feel this journey will be worthwhile.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.